Somebody said something to me this morning on Facebook about Lakota prayers, and they were asking whether I could source them some written down prayers. So I thought it would be quite good to maybe just do a little video about praying, because it's something that a lot of people kind of really don't think about, I think. Or, our culture is very bad at praying. When I was a kid, I went to a church school. This was back in the dark ages of the about 1962 I started school. And it was a church school, and every day we would have to sit there and we would put our hands together and we would make our kind of everyday prayers. It would be the Lord's Prayer, which I can probably still remember, but I'm not going to try it. I haven't said that for probably 40 years. If that, probably longer. So prayer for me, is from the heart. And I just want to talk about what I think of as prayer, because it's not about kind of asking for things or being terribly kind of humble and bowing down to some kind of dominating father figure God or whatever. It's about coming from here, and it's about being loose with your words so that you are being creative in what you say. It's about making beautiful but meaningful communication with spirit, with the universe, with whatever. So I'm just gonna, it's hard to describe, and I'm not very good at talking about it. I'm aware I'm gabbling quite a lot, so I'm just going to kind of sit and pray. I recommend that people hold something when they pray. This is an eagle feather that I've had for a long time, and a prayer feather is part of tradition of prayer in some cultures. In some Native American cultures, you have prayer feathers, and so I would make a prayer. First of all, I would say a lot of thank yous. So I would say, hey, sacred ones, grandfathers, grandmothers, uncles and aunts. Oh, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day. Hey, hey, hey. I look at the sky out through the window up there, and I see it's blue, and I see the clouds, and I'm grateful. Hey, oh, sacred ones, thank you for my life. Thank you for the food that I've had in my belly today. Thank you for this beautiful feather here that I'm holding, and the fact that I have the technology to be able to say these things to people around the world. Thank you for my body. Thank you for my voice. Thank you for all the things that I have. Hey, oh, sacred ones, ask blessings. I ask blessings on all those people that I care about and that I love. I'm grateful that they're in my life. Hey, sacred ones, thank you for having them in my life. I make prayers for those people. I make prayers for my family, for all of those people that I know. Hey, oh, sacred ones, at this time I make prayers for all the people that are really suffering at this time. They're suffering because they're frightened. They're suffering because maybe they're stuck in little houses with no gardens, and they don't know how to kind of get away from their kids or their partners. Hey, I make prayer for all the people that are in domestic abuse at this time, all those women and some of those men too that are really getting a hard time because they're trapped with their partners, and it's really, really, really bad and hard for them. So I make prayers for them. Hey, hey, I ask all the spirits that love those people to help them. Hey, sacred ancestors, oh, beautiful ones, I ask that you help them. I ask that you help us all. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Hey, 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 sacred ones. My heart is feeling very full of these things. There is so much need in the world at this time. I make these prayers. May it be so for all my relations. So I make prayers because I speak from what is in my heart. I've learnt that when I'm holding the pipe. When I'm holding the pipe and I'm praying across the pipe, I'm talking to the universe, I'm holding the universe. I'm doing the same here when I'm making a prayer. If I'm making a prayer about something, I often pray in the shower in the morning. That's my first thing. I get in the shower and I thank the water spirits and I thank the lightning spirits for heating the water. And I talk to those spirits and I thank them for the day and I ask for inspiration for the day and I ask for blessings. If I'm doing healing work for people, I very often will include those in the shower. I will talk to those spirits about them and ask for help for them. And always, 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 it's about being grateful. It's about being grateful for the things that you have. And it's about being grateful for what you're asking maybe the spirits to do, to bless people or to give you the things that you need. Because in these cultures, in these ways, you kind of expect that the spirits will help you. And you're just a two-legged and you need help. So you ask and you are grateful because you kind of believe that it's going to happen. That attitude of humility, not the kind of, oh, I'm a terrible, miserable sinner and I really, really am such a worm in the eyes of God. None of that crap. None of that crap. You are a beautiful person. I'm a beautiful person. So we pray to our relatives, all of the spirits out there. But it's also really important to remember that not everything out there loves you. So you heard me, if you paid attention, I said, oh, all those spirits that love me or love them. I think I was talking about the people out there that are suffering. So I said, all those spirits that love them, please help them. Because not everything does love you. So it's really, really important to put that filter on. If I'm going to call to the ancestors to help me, I'm going to call to the ancestors that love me, because not all of them do. Some of them are trolls. Some of them will just want to give you hell. So you ask for the ones that love you. But you pray from here. You don't pray from here. And one of the beauties of the pipe is that when you get the pipe goes round a circle and it gets to Joe Bloggs over there, and Joe Bloggs has been sitting and listening to all of the prayers all the way around, and he's got all his prayers in his head and he knows what he's going to talk about. And then he gets the pipe and he forgets them all. He forgets them all and he doesn't know what he's going to pray at all. And he has to pray from here again, because that's where it is. We pray in the moment. We say in the moment. If I'm praying and I don't know what to say, I say, oh, sacred ones, I don't know what to say. And then I listen. That's the other important thing. The other really important thing with prayer is that it's not about you going blah, 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 blah. It's about you listening. So you say what you need to say to the spirits, and then you sit there for a while and you let the spirits drop things into you. They kind of arise up out of you. So you sit and you listen. I remember a story from Grandfather Wallace Black Elk. He told a story of some white guys that were passing by a sweat lodge that they were doing in the mountains somewhere. And these white guys came along, and there was Wallace Black Elk and a few other Lakota medicine people doing a sweat, and these white guys said, can we come into the sweat? And the Lakota people sort of said, yeah, okay, because that's what you do. That's the way it is. If somebody wants to come to your ceremony, who are you to refuse? So they went in and they sat in the circle. Now, I'm not going to talk a lot about sweats, because sweats, it's a whole big topic. But basically, it's a way of making prayers. You sit in a circle in the sweat and you make a prayer. So it came to these white guys, and they went on and 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 on with the most verbose, full of themselves prayers. And then at the end of the sweat lodge, they kind of went off on their way, and Grandfather Wallace Black Elk never saw them again. But he said he sat and made his own prayers, and he talked to the spirits, and he said to the spirits, what did you make of those guys that came in and they were going on and on and on and on and on and on and on? And the spirits said, I don't know, we weren't listening. So there's a good lesson in that. Don't bore the pants off spirit, and listen to spirit, but speak from your heart. Now, I've said enough. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. You take care, folks.